All right, evening, everybody. We're going to be describing proportional relationships, the constant of proportionality here. I'm going to do the practice and problem solving. Looks like since starting with 7, I'll be doing the odd ones. Let's begin. What is the constant of proportionality in the equation y equals 5x? Well, I have to remember the equation for the constant of proportionality is y equals k times x. Okay? Let's see, if I'm going to solve this, what is the constant of proportionality? Well, that's always what k is. So in this case, 5 is in the place that k is at. My constant of proportionality has to be 5. Let's move on to number 9 now. The equation P equals 3s represents the perimeter P of an equilateral triangle with the side lengths s. Is there a proportional relationship between the perimeter and the side length of an equilateral triangle? Well, right when they give us this formula, this is the formula for the constant of proportionality and the constant of, for a proportional relationship. And the constant of proportionality is 3. So the answer is yes, there is a proportional relationship. And why? Let's see. Well, because P equals 3s is in the proper equation for a proportional relationship. Let's see, because P equals 3s is in the form of a proportional relationship where proportional relationship, sorry about my typing there, where 3 is the constant of proportionality, right? Furthermore, if I wanted to investigate this, I could say, I'm not sure what this is over here. The ratio of the perimeter to the side length is always equivalent. That does go along with our statement here, and I'm going to explain why. Because if we have a equilateral triangle, as they suggest, and I was at, let's just say, each side was 1. Well, when I make my table, okay, and I show that, remember, it's always x over y, and I show that this is my perimeter, and this is my sides. Well, in this particular one here, when the sides are 1, the perimeter will be, well, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. And remember, we always put our formula in the format of y over x. And y over x would be 3 over 1. And of course, that's going to equal 3. Now, if we went and checked if every side was 2, that'd be 2 for my side, and then 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. And now we got 6 over 2. Well, 6 over 2 is also 3. And if we will go even a step further, and let's just say we put every side 4. If we change this to 4, that would be 4 plus 4 plus 4, and that would be 12. And 12 divided by 4 would also be 3. As we can see, by doing this, sorry, that should be 4, not 3. We can see that the ratio of the perimeter, right, whatever the bottom is, to the side length is always equivalent. No matter what number we use, we get a ratio of 3. All right, let's go ahead and do number 11 now. The weight of 3 eggs is shown, assuming the 3 eggs are all the same weight. Find the constant of proportionality, where the weight of the eggs is 120 grams. And 120 grams divided by 3 eggs is going to be 40 grams. So the constant of proportionality will be 40 grams. Let's go to number 13 now. Anne's car travels 228 miles on 6 gallons of gas. Write an equation to represent the distance, y in miles, that Anna's car can travel on X gallons of gas. So to do this, we'll have to find out how much she can go on 1 mile of gas. So right over here, we know that we can use, let's see, 228 is going to be equal to 6 gallons multiplied to whatever rate that we're going to be using, and I guess we can call that K. And if we do that, we're going to be dividing it by 6 to find out what K is. That's going to give us 38. That's going to equal K. When we do that now, if we're going to make a formula for this, using the distance being y, that means that the amount of miles that it can go in 1 gallon is 38 miles. And we don't know how many, since it's a X gallons of gas, we don't know how many gallons. It would be y equals 38x. Now it says Anne's car uses 7 gallons of gas during the trip. How far did Anne's drive? Well, we've got y, our formula y equals 38x. And let's see, we're going to say that it's 7 gallons. Remember, x is gallons, x on x gallons of gas. So that means now we have y is going to be equal to 38 multiplied to 7. All right, and so now it's 7 times 38. Let's get our calculator out for that. 7 times 38 is going to give us, let's try that again. I think I did something wrong there. 7 times 38, not divided by 38. 266. So that means y is equal to 266. And since we're talking about miles, to be 266 miles. All right, let's go to number, see, 14 zeros, which means 50 in his mind. A car travels 2 1/3 mile in 3 1/2 minute at a constant speed. Right, an equation to represent the distance the car travels, d, in miles per minute. Okay, if I was going to do this, I need an equation. First of all, I need to find out how much it goes in 1 minute, right? So if that's true, we need to take 2 1/3 and realize that it's being divided into, right? The distance is being divided into by 3 1/2 minutes. And if I did that, I realize I have to take both of these and turn them into improper fractions. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is going to be equal to 7/3. Next, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. That's going to be 7/2. And now we have a fraction over fraction. We're going to use KFC to solve this. So we keep the first one the same. So that's 7/3. We're going to multiply instead of divide. Now we have to flip, right? We change from division to multiplication. Remember KFC or KCF, whichever one you guys learned. We keep the first one the same. We change from division to multiplication. And we flip the second one. So this is going to be 2/7. And when we do that, we realize we're eliminating the 7s, turning them to 1s. And that's going to give us 2/3. 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 1 is 3. So that means we're going to go 2/3 mile every minute. 2/3 of a mile every minute. Okay? So if I'm going to go ahead and write that as an equation to represent the distance the car travels, which is d, in miles for 10 minutes, or for m minutes. We don't know how many minutes, but the time is going to be here, and it's going to be equal to 2/3, because we're going 2/3 of a mile every minute. So my equation will be d equals 2/3 m. Well, the last thing that's asked me is to write an equation to represent the distance in the car travels, d again, and this would be d, in miles for h hours. Oh, wow. Okay. So that means how far is it going to go every single hour instead of minute? Well, we know that since we're changing minutes to hour, there are 60 minutes in an hour. So that means we have to multiply 2/3 times 60 to get our answer. 2/3 times 60. We realize we can use the butterfly method here. 3 goes into 60. Well, that'd be, let's see, 3 divided by 6 is 2, so this would be 20. Now we got 2 times 20, which is 40, and 1 times 1, which is 1. That means you will go 40 miles in 1 hour. All right, so d equals 40 times h will be our answer. And that looks like all the ones that I have for you tonight. Good luck with the rest of them, and see you in class tomorrow.